If you have a young inventor at home, this could be their chance to turn an idea into something really big. Registration is now open for this year's Young Inventor Challenge International Championship. The competition gives kids and teens the opportunity to showcase their original toys and games to industry professionals. Some inventions will make it to major retail stores. Our next guest knows what that experience is like. While still in high school, Fei Feng designed a board game called Orbio. It earned the Most Marketable Award at last year's 20th Annual Young Inventor Challenge. Fei joins us with Orbio to share her journey as a young inventor. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, let me first start off with, I said Fei Feng.
Yes.
Your last name is spelled F-E-N-G.
F-E-N-G.
And there are some people out there who will say, Deborah, you should know better. You grew up partially in Asia. It's really pronounced Feng, right?
Yes, Feng.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an American and Asian way to pronounce it.
You're like, okay, if it's easier for you to say Feng, we're just going to let you do that.
All right.
Okay, just graduated from Cinco Ranch High School.
Yes.
Creativity was your way of, you say, of making sense of the world.
Yes, I always thought of creativity as something that always motivated me. I think the idea of turning your imagination into a tangible, real thing is so cool, and it's what's been motivating me to keep creating things.
Yeah, well, you're an only child.
Yes.
So you oftentimes would find a way to entertain yourself, and you'd be doodling and all that type of stuff, right?
Yeah, at home I would always be drawing my own things, piecing together cardboard to create things, and yeah, later on during high school I ended up creating a board game.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that board game in a second, but you were like the building of an entrepreneur right here. You would actually stage Shark Tank pitches in your living room.
Yes, yeah, my parents, they would sit on the couch with a serious face, they would be the judges, and then I would walk out with my notebook with my inventions every day, so it was a fun way to practice and just, you know, mock that Shark Tank type.
Yeah, and then you started making things. You sold DIY crafts at craft fairs. You built a weatherproof cat house for strays.
Oh, that was a project I contributed some ideas on, but I also created a cat fur collecting mitten.
Okay, let me just stop right there. There it is right there. The cat fur collecting mitten. That is so cool. And then what you're looking at right now is the ergonomic violin chin rest, which resolves pain and discomfort. I have a violin. I can't play it long enough to even get to the discomfort part, but that's great. But the cat fur mitten, what made you think about that idea?
I used to have a cat, and he shed a lot of fur. Everywhere I went, there was fur on the furniture, fur all over my clothes. So I wanted to create something that was not only cute, but useful. So that's why I created the mitten, to easily pick up fur and make
Yeah, because we have like
fun.
those roller tape things, but you got to keep replacing the tape.
Yeah, ripping
every
it
time.
off.
Yeah. That was very, very smart. Okay, the board game Orbio. You designed this game while you were in high school.
Yes.
What went into this? I can see there's several layers here. There's so much that you had to go through. We take for granted sometimes when we see things on a shelf, and we think it just always started at the end goal. There was a beginning, lots of beginnings that got it to where it is.
Yeah, so making this board game was a whole learning process. Not only was I designing a board game, I was learning how to market this game, how to take videos, how to create a campaign, and how to take advice from people I play tested with to make it even better with more clarity and flow. So yeah, this game was inspired from my chemistry class, and we were learning about molecules, so this is why this piece kind of looks like a tetrahedral.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you credit your parents as well for not only just kind of fostering your entrepreneurial spirit, but also your background and your engineering classes and all that stuff that's just encouraging you along the way.
For sure. My teachers, my engineering teachers at school gave me the opportunity to really learn about how to 3D model these pieces. I got to use a lot of machines at school too, such as CNC machine, laser cutting, and that really helped me along the process.
Yeah, because you had to learn things like prototyping.
Yes.
Explain to people what that means.
So prototyping is a process where you kind of test out like what type of material, what type of form, how do you want your product to look like. So that includes like testing out different materials, such as over here I tested out fabric, wood, and 3D printing. And I saw how it interacted with the pieces. So it's a process of testing out what works best for your concept, for your product, and what works best for the people at the same time.
And so it's the product itself, what every single piece is made of, and then now you got to test out, the game itself.
Yes.
And so you said you had play testers, so you had to have people actually play the game, see where it was maybe sometimes too difficult for them or too easy for them, or could you do this in levels? Could it be something that somebody plays by themselves, only child, right, or somebody, or that that people just play together. Okay, take us through the purpose of the game and the goal.
All right, so your goal of the game is to outsmart and outlast all your opponents. So that means you must be the last one standing. I would say this game kind of revolves more of a strategy game. Think of like you are moving your pieces like chess, but then there's the twist of fun of Uno and the cards that can twist the game up on a whole nother level.
And you added the cards later, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was during the process. And yeah, so what's unique about this game is that the pieces rotate and they move three-dimensionally, unlike other games.
Okay.
So to move, you rotate, and you can also interact with opponents. So for example, if you wanted to attack this piece, you would just knock it down like this, and it would be dizzy.
Out.
Yeah, out. So yeah, and then there's ways you can claim cards, and for example, you can gain immunity, extra moves, swap places with other people.
Yeah, just kind of ups the ante there. Okay, so you invent something, and then there's the now what, right? And there's and then of course along the process of inventing a lot of things, it takes money. You did Kickstarter.
Yes. So over the summer, before I applied to for colleges, I grinded out a whole Kickstarter campaign, and that meant again refining my game as much as I can to what I feel people would like. So that also meant learning how to take marketing videos at home, how to put the graphics together to make a campaign, and just be able to present this game in a way that people will see its unique factor and would want to play it.
Yeah, and the nice thing about Kickstarter is you have a community out there that they may be investing in a number of things. Some of them might be saying, okay, this game may pay off one day, I'm going to invest in that for that reason. But others are saying, we believe in the entrepreneurial spirit, especially among kids, and that's something that makes them want to contribute. All right, so now you're at the Young Inventor Challenge. Tell us about this program. How did you find out about it? And what was that experience like for you?
Right, so actually through the Kickstarter campaign, I feel like it opened a lot of doors for me. Some game industry people reached out to me and actually recommended me to join the Young Inventor Challenge. So, you know, I was like, I'll take the opportunity, see what it's like.
Yeah, and with 10,000 other kids, right?
Yes, and it actually changed a whole lot, and I feel like had a huge impact on me. Joining this competition, it really gets you to practice your skills, like pitching. You get to pitch to game industry professionals. You also get to be surrounded by a lot of young inventors, which you don't get to see a lot these days. So being in this environment is super inspiring and motivating, and really gets you to put yourself out there.
Yeah, and then you won Most Marketable.
Yes.
And now I said 10,000 kids out there, this had to make you feel so good.
For sure. It definitely gave me the confidence and made me realize that there is potential in my game, and that, yeah, people see something in it, and it motivates me every day to keep improving and working on it.
Yeah, you're shipping games back to the Kickstarter investors right now so they can get the full deal and see what it was that they invested in. You connected with some pros in the toy and game industry, and so moving forward with that. All right, in your educational life, we just mentioned that you just graduated. Where are you wanting to head off to college, and what would you like to do when you grow up? Although I pretty much think you're already grown.
Well, I graduated Cinco Ranch High School, and this fall I'll be attending Carnegie Mellon University, studying on the product design track. So it's really similar to kind of what I have going on now. In the future, I hope to be an entrepreneur. I hope to design products that not only solves everyday problems, but also brings joy and makes an impact to people in any way.
All right, your mom is over here, and your dad. Come on over here real quick. Come on, get up and come over here, because as we mentioned earlier, you know, you had their full support. I just want people to see, just walk on over, cut in front of the camera, whatever you need to do, get on over here. But anyway, thank you very much. What a dynamic young woman that you've raised here.
Thank you.
And you are single, I take it, right?
Oh.
Yeah, okay, I've got a son. Okay, we'll talk about that commercial break. No, anyway. Okay, again, registration for the Young Inventor Challenge is open through October 25th. Kids and teens ages 6 to 18 can enter their original toy or game inventions from anywhere, and we'd love to see more Houston students representing our city. For a link to register and to learn more about Fei's board game, Orbio, visit greatdayhouston.com, and we'll connect you